Welcome to the OMG Talk podcast with Paul Finkelstein. Great advice and talk with small business owners, workaholics, and whiz-bang entrepreneurs. Here's your host, Paul Finkelstein.
Email.
Thank you very much. All right, so we did finish the table topics. Ruth said we qualified. I almost said all of them, so we have now 2 recordings of 44 minutes for the first one. Mary did talk about the success definition, and then I talked about number 1 goal over the next 6 months. And then we're going to go into the table topic. The Toastmaster of the evening is going to take over from the table topic master. So the Toastmaster of the day is now back in control. Hi, everybody. I'm a child, right? A teenager, not a child. That's different. The difference between a child and a teenager. Thank you. I'm elevating myself up in life.
Well, you know there's between boys and men, right? The price of their toys.
The price of it. Okay.
You have to have fun.
So this part of the meeting, I need the help of the timer. You'll tell us how does the timing go for the 4 to 6 minute speeches? And I guess we'll have 2 speakers today, maybe 3. I think 3, unless they come back.
Thank you, Toastmaster. The icebreaker, or continuing to chip at the ice, because we've spoken before, is 4 to 6 minutes. At 4 minutes, the green light calendar will come on. At 5 minutes, the yellow light book will come on. And at 6 minutes, the red light will come on. At 5 minutes, start thinking about wrapping up, coming to your conclusion. And at 6 minutes, you have 30 more seconds to really wrap it up. Thank you, Toastmaster.
Excellent. Good job. Timer roll, Toastmaster, Ruth. Distinguished Toastmaster to be. I'll plant a seed. Okay.
Yeah.
Our next speaker loves wearing baseball caps. Our next speaker is always a moment's notice from being next to a green screen. Our next speaker perhaps is a gamer. It looks like a gamer chair that she's sitting on. Our next speaker loves helping people, especially dealing with this interesting word, neurodiversity. Help me welcome Mary Stanley to the lectern, the digital lectern.
Thank you. Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, everyone, depending on where you are. My name is Mary Stanley. I am a U.S. Army veteran, a mother of 2 amazing autistic children, and yes, I'm autistic myself. Sometimes people think advocates like me must have some extraordinary plan from the start. But the truth is, I'm just an ordinary mom who refused to accept limited options the world gave my kids. Supportive Minds didn't begin as a business. It began as a lifeline. It was my way of saying, if the help we need doesn't exist, then I'm going to launch it myself. When I was navigating life with my kids, appointments, IEP meetings, sensory meltdown, screaming for hours, crying for hours, school calls, I saw the same pattern over and over and over again. Parents were exhausted. Everyone kept asking me, "Oh, you must be an exhausted, stressed out mom." Kids were misunderstood. Professionals had pieces of the puzzle, but no one was putting them all together. And worse, there was this constant message. If your child could just be more normal, life would be easier. But normal isn't the goal. Ordinary is not the goal. Respect, understanding, and effective support are the goal. We don't need to change who our kids are. We don't need to change how the world sees them. That's when I decided, and I wouldn't just cope with the system. I would launch something that's centered with dignity, autonomy, and a real-world strategies. Supportive Minds began as a space where families, educators, and professionals could learn without the shame how to support autistic and neurodivergent people through the lens of the neurodiversity paradigm. We started with small, practical tools, sensory profiles, executive function strategies, communication supports. But soon we expanded to full coaching programs, workshops, and now certification courses that reached far beyond my own community. Every method I share is rooted in research, but it's tested in real life because I've lived it. I'm still living it. This isn't theory for me, it's survival, it's hope, but it's growth. And it's turned into a system others can use too. Looking ahead, my vision for supportive minds is clear. First, I want to train thousands of adults, parents, teachers, coaches, and community leaders to move away from outdated compliance based formats and move toward truly affirming approaches. Second is to expand our certification program so people across the globe can launch their own careers as specialists in sensory processing, executive function, and neurodiversity travel, which we just launched on Friday. I want to keep building bridges between families and systems, schools, workplaces, and the healthcare system so that the support is consistent, respectful, but transformative. Ultimately, my goal is simple. No parent should ever feel alone. No autistic person should feel like they must hide their identity just to be accepted. When I look back and I see that nothing about my journey was glamorous, it was an ordinary person making an extraordinary choice to do something. Supportive minds exist because I refuse to believe different meant less. My military service taught me that the greatest missions aren't solo, they're carried out by a team, and that we are now a team, a community, and now a movement. We launched this to make a difference, and together we're going to keep launching changes that make the world a better, a safer, but also a more inclusive place for every individual, no matter if you're an ordinary or if you're a neurodivergent. Thank you, Toastmaster.
That sounds good. That was pretty ordinary, but then again, that's the word of the day.
Hey, did I not say I'm an ordinary person?
Did you? You
Like
did?
4 times?
Excellent. 4 times.
Yes, you did great. And launch. You did
Awesome.
great.
Hey, Ruth, could I
Hey, Paul.
on you? Could you do? I like we're informal here. Can you do a 2 to 3 minute evaluation later for what you just heard from Mary? I bet she would love your
I
wisdom,
will.
and I'll maybe do that for you. So our next speaker coming up loves the color purple so much. You have no idea. She also has gone to numerous Toastmaster meetings, and she is a business person. And she couldn't be more positive choosing a business with the word positivity in it. Help me welcome Ruth Fieldbeck.
Thank you, Toastmaster. Yes, I love the color purple. Growing up, it was pink. Everything had to be pink. And as an adult, I segued to purple. Purple, I just think is eye catching, and it takes an ordinary kind of pale kind of face and makes it shine. Get a lot of compliments when I'm wearing purple. It's also the color of royalty. If we look back towards history, then purple was made as a dye color that they had available at that time. And it also helped the noble and the royalty to stand out from the ordinary people. So the color purple was launched, and as I just mentioned, it was launched as my signature color. I'm using it in my businesses. I have 2 businesses right now. One is positively representing you because of 2 points. I want to be positive instead of the babbling or the hyperactive postings and commercials. So I feel like let's be positive. If we're good enough, then we only have to say that we're good enough. We don't have to be aggressive towards knocking down the other businesses that might be in our business genre, if you will. I also want to represent somebody the way that they want to be represented. In my eyes, they're not ordinary. In my eyes, to quote C.S. Lewis, who was an author, speaker, teacher, college teacher, there are no ordinary human beings. And C.S. Lewis is also very special to me. You might be familiar with the children's books, the Chronicles of Narnia, or some of the adult books which talk about his worldview. One that he wrote before he came to his worldview, which was his worldview at the end, was fantasy based. It was pretty amazing. I don't remember the title right now. So, what I started to do as I started to experience Toastmasters and being a blood bank representative and promoting those parts of life and parts of my hobbies, my passions, was to start to tell everybody I have been called a people connector by some people in Toastmasters, and some other people outside of Toastmasters have used similar words and phrases to describe me, who I am, what I do. So I took those passions and I took a child song, which is This Little Light of Mine. You may be familiar with it. I don't really have a light, but imagine my thumb is like a little candle. You want to take that light that's within us, each of us. I want to, and I want to let my heart shine to be the person that I can be and help others to be who they can be. The people who are my clients are small, and for the most part, they want to focus on providing the product or service for their clients rather than using social media or networking. So I'm the one who will do that for them, and I'll help them launch their business or grow their business. Right now, I'm launching my business. I had it and then I let it go dormant, and now I'm bringing it back up. I'm looking for resources. Anybody who can help me with resources is my current best friend. So thank you so much for letting me speak tonight. And I'm glad that we're all here sharing, Mr. Toastmaster.
Thank you. I could be that. And thank you, Ruth, the purple lady. I Before I introduce the next speaker, it looked like somebody left a quick notice, but
We have a friend.
oh, that's what it
Hi,
is.
Ron.
All right.
Oh, we should make him the next speaker.
Yeah, we should, but we have to. Does he? You see if you can convince him to speak.
Speak.
Ron, have you attended Toastmasters before?
I'd have to stop the
Um,
recording too, because
um,
unless he wants us to record him.
yeah, no, I'm learning. I'm actually very happy with what's going on here.
So turn the
Um,
camera off and speak for 4 minutes.
Yeah, hold on.
turn the camera off and speak for 4 minutes.
There you go.
Yeah, we learn by doing.
Yeah, so speak for 4 minutes.
Paul and Sarah, the real couple that cares about your Medicare, says that Tony from trcvoiceovers.com is awesome. If you want the best voice on the planet for any Audible project, don't hesitate to reach out to him at Tony at trcvoiceovers.com.